Welcome to Help Stop the Genocide in American Ghettos podcast. I'm your host, Emmanuel Barbie. I'm the founder, president, and CEO of GRCAM, the Grassroots Community Activist Movement. On this platform, we discuss authentic urban news across the diaspora. We are the Black media component of the Grassroots Community Activist Movement. If you joining us for the first time, please like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube page. We encourage our listeners worldwide to, to engage with us by leaving a public comment about the topic in the comment section below this audio podcast. All I have is my revised book, my virtual store, my online groups, and this talk show. My film project is my last attempt to try to build something positive for my racial group, Black America, before I cut and run to Africa. I am called by my Lord and Savior, Jesus / Yahshua, to build the best African American business within the United States of America. However, for 33 years, Black Americans have been acting funny style with me. I have little to no support. The majority of Black Americans that I run across are Americanized, entitled, and develop a sense of a narcissist attitude. The majority of Black Chicagoans that I have spoken with on the streets told me that they're not interested in what I have to say. This is why I created this platform to broadcast my vision and plan, and as well as to connect with other like-minded Black Americans and like-minded African immigrants within the United States of America. If only my listeners would step up and work with me and turn in my vision and plan into a reality, then we as a racial group can move to the next level. And I also want to get my story on the big screen so that the whole Black world would know who we are and what we're trying to do for our people that's trapped in American ghettos, specifically in Chicago. Once we get this film project fully funded and made, that will put me in a better position financially to purchase property in Chicago, buy office equipment, and hire like-minded Black middle-class professionals and qualified like-minded African immigrants in America to help me build the Grassroots Community Activist Institute of Chicago. Disclaimer: this content is for educational and informational purpose only. It is based on public available reports and verified media sources. We fully comply with YouTube's community guidelines. We do not promote violence, hate, or misinformation in any form. This audio podcast is available in two forms: audio and also as a written text, in order for us to reach our audience. Help Stop the Genocide in American Ghettos podcast, again, is our Black media component. I would like to encourage my listeners to subscribe to my Medium page where you can follow along through the podcast. I provide my Medium transcript in the comment section below this audio podcast. I also provide the links to my backup Facebook page in the comment section as well. I created this platform, quote, Help Stop the Genocide in American Ghettos podcast, to give people on my Facebook page and people in my social groups who are Black artists, African artists, such as authors, comedians, fashion designers, filmmakers, models, musicians, poets, gospel singers, spiritual leaders, as well as Black entrepreneurs and African entrepreneurs. Please make arrangements with me to come on this platform so that you can promote your books, your business, your music, or if you have a small ministry, then you can share a 30-minute sermon with my listeners from the global community. After the show, I offer my guest speakers an incentive by teaching them how to create their own podcast, YouTube channel, and website for their business or online ministry. I also assist them with finding college grants and scholarships and legal services all for free. Once I'm able to get my Christian business, Gurkai of Chicago, up and running, then I will invite local guest speakers and my international guest speakers who came on my show when I was small time to attend our live events. Through the business, depending on our budget and sponsorship, we will help pay for their travel and hotel expenses. We will also give them a love offering for their time and talent. Those who refused to work with me when I was small will not be part of my business because this is going to be membership based. I created this platform in order to mobilize like minded Black Americans, like minded African immigrants within the United States and throughout the African diaspora. The CAM is about raising the bar in Black America. There will be protocol put in place to separate ourselves from con artists, Black boule, degenerates, Democrat shields, hardened criminals, pedophiles, off-code Negroes, and urban terrorists. All of the principles in my revised book is the code for GERCAM members. Those who are not a part of us, we will pray for them, show them tough love, and keep it moving. Again, I do not operate like the next Black man. I have my own style and way of doing things. The sooner we get this film project fully funded and made, the sooner we can start building Gurkai of Chicago. This business is not about me. It's about CAM members and their families. It's about improving our community and meeting the needs of the African American community and the African immigrant community. It's my hope that we will build this movement together, a movement that will not put politics over our interests, a movement that refused to let the same insiders who have done nothing for decades keep holding power without accountability. We're nonpartisan, we're independent, and we're not affiliated with anyone. We're M1, meaning we are melanated first. Our focus is on solving Black issues at the community level. I will never forget where I came from or who I'm fighting for. Let's make real change happen together. The grassroots community activist movement welcomes Black entrepreneurs, African entrepreneurs, Black artists, African artists. Our aim is to move CAM from behind the computer to the big screen, then into the African American community, as well as the African immigrant community, and provide a family friendly atmosphere rooted in solidarity and make a positive impact in the communities that we will serve. I want to do more than just news and social commentary, but this is where I'm at for now. Without financial support from the Black grassroots and the global African family, then I am unable to do my job. I've been paying out of pocket for my business title since 2010. I pay the city, state, and the IRS every year. This is why I have to make this docudrama in order to reach the Black masses and the Black world. The white man is not stopping Black America from buying my revised book. The white man is not stopping Black America from patronizing my virtual store. The white man is not stopping Black America from donating to my film project. That's a personal choice. That's Willie Lynch in real time, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to connect with all of my listeners, all of you, everybody that's on my Facebook friends list. And if you're not interested in what I'm trying to do, delete me off your friends list and just find some business. This is why I'm reaching out to African immigrants within the United States from 10 African nations: South Africa, Kenya, Ethiopia, Tanzania, Uganda, Angola, Liberia, Ivory Coast, Ghana, and Nigeria. I understand you are here to live your American dream, but I need your help. I'm trying to um, build the best African American business within the United States, but I have little to no support. If you work with me in getting this business up and running, or get behind my film project, you will go down in history with me and Sister Renee, and I will bring the business over to your country. But we got to get it popping here in Chicago first for credibility. The reason why you're able to reach your American dream is because of my ancestors who fought and died during the civil rights era to help get African immigrants and Afro Caribbeans in this country, as well as other immigrants. Because, truth be told, the white supremacist financial elites only wanted European immigrants here, no one else. I also encourage the global African family who reside in Canada, Europe, the Caribbean, Latin America, and on the African continent that's able to afford my ebook. Please purchase my ebook. Read my story for yourself. Quote, The Solution for Black America, Reclaiming, Rebuilding, Restoring the Urban Ghettos in America, second edition. It's available on Amazon in two forms, as an ebook for $9.99 or as a soft cover book for $15 plus shipping and handling. If you agree with my vision and plan to help improve Black America, then you will automatically become a GERCAM member. GERCAM members are the ones who will help me build the grassroots community activist movement. And once I'm in a better position financially through the film, the proceeds, that again, that's what's going to allow me to be able to be in a better position financially to hire Black middle class professionals. And hey, if I have to find people outside of Chicago, so be it. But this is why I'm on online, and this is why I created this platform. I'm here to try to recruit brave and smart, like-minded Black Americans, brave and smart, like-minded African immigrants, that's serious and that's on business. Um, I provide my Amazon author page in the comments section below this audio podcast. I would love to speak with those of you who have read my story and that agree with my vision and plan to come on this platform so we can talk about it, as well as encourage others to get behind our film project. Quote, Hood Liberator, made in Chicago, the war against Willie Lynch begins, unquote. You can be a part of this historic docudrama by contributing to our campaign either on our GoFundMe page or on our PayPal Giving Fund page, which will help fund marketing, promotion, clearance, legal, and general expenses. Our aim is to raise $250,000. We are using crowdfunding so that everybody will know exactly where the money will be going. We have our GoFundMe page and our PayPal Giving Fund page. If you are a U.S. citizen, then I recommend that you use our PayPal Giving Fund page as a tax write-off because this is a legitimate 501c3 nonprofit faith-based and community advocacy organization. Upcoming events. Saturday, July 12th, we will have Bishop Alexander from Kenya. Mark your calendar for our next monthly virtual interactive conference, Saturday, July 26, 2025. Join us in this virtual interactive conference. Everyone on my Facebook backup page, everyone in my social groups, and all of my other social media sites I am on, such as Instagram, LinkedIn, TikTok, and X. Welcome. On this platform, we are genuine, sincere, transparent, and authentic. I'm looking for 5 or more people to be on the panel so that we can discuss the topic. If you're serious about being on the panel, then please send me your email address to my Facebook backup page inbox. Then I will email you the link to get on the show. Once I finish my presentation, then I will open up the show for Q&A. This is called Side B. I prefer to see you on camera first before you come on the show to avoid trolls. This event will help expand your network, enhance your profile visibility, and make more meaningful connections with the global community. Theme: the reason why Africa remains undeveloped is because of neo colonization, where Zoom/slash Facebook Live time 2 p.m. American Central Time, 3 p.m. Canadian Time, 8 p.m. West African Time, 9 p.m. South African Time, 10 p.m. East African Time, and 8 p.m. UK Time. Title of this presentation: Black teen gunned down in North Londale by domestic terrorists, and Trump ends birthright citizenship. Our first topic: Black teens gunned down in North Londale by domestic terrorists. On behalf of the grassroots community activist movement, our hearts and prayers goes out to the victims' family of this senseless violence in our city. Um, the title of the video that you can see uh, on my Medium page is quote, surveillance video shows Douglas Park shooting, lifeguard charged with murder, unquote. To learn more about this case, just go to my Medium transcript located in the comment section below this audio podcast. Click on the link, then scroll down to show and prove. This is yet another example of why we need to get my story on the big screen to help us reach the Black masses and the Black world. Black parents in America and African parents on the continent. The business I am trying to build is for you and your family. I created this platform so that you can interact with me in real time. We will provide the support system that you and your family needs, but I need for you to work with me so that together we can turn my vision and plan into a reality by first of all by purchasing my revised book and reading my story and sharing that with your family and friends. Put me on blast. This is why I am on online, and this is why I created this platform. I don't want to be doing this another 33 years. Since January of this year, we have tried to raise funds for our film project so that we can get our story on the big screen in order to reach the Black masses and the Black world. But still, to this day, we have not received any donations. And don't take my word for it. Go to my GoFundMe page, and also go to my PayPal Giving Fund page. I provide the links in the comment section below this audio podcast. Again, I come with receipts. This is my hope that through our platform, that the Lord would connect me with the right people who have the means to help get our film project fully funded and made so that I can walk into my God-given assignment. Please leave a public comment about the topic in the comment section below this audio podcast and share with your friends on all social media sites you are on. This will help get the ball rolling. Our second topic: Trump ends birthright citizenship. Today, we're having a conversation about President Donald Trump saying that birthright citizenship was meant for the babies of slaves after Supreme Court ruling. Our fight in the United States of America has opened the opportunity for non-white immigrants who came over here. The white supremacist financial elites only wanted Europeans. They attracted them by creating the Homestead Act, which granted them citizenship and land. They did not allow Asians during that time. They created the Chinese Exclusion Act at one point in time. Our ancestors helped open the doors for these other groups to come here during the civil rights era and also before the civil rights era, because Frederick Douglass, he was caping for um, the Chinese. He was against that the Chinese Exclusion Act. He wanted more Chinese people here because that's how our people are. You know, they're loving, kind for the most part. Today, most immigrants that come to the United States of America bring with them anti Black sentiments toward Black Americans from their homeland, usually from south of the border, in such places like Mexico and Latin America, especially Latin America, because that's where they had slaves, you know, in Brazil and Colombia and all those other um, in Latin America, you know, for the most part, because of the Spaniards. This has led Black Americans to start delineating from all these other groups and start gatekeeping our own culture once again. We're not coming out in the streets like we used to. We're telling all these other groups to fight their own battles. Look how far we came in 400 years. America is not completely equal, but as a collective, we have done a good job for fighting for our rights. If it wasn't for Black Americans, these other groups wouldn't have the opportunity they have now. So they need to be grateful. But some of these other groups don't appreciate what we have done for them, and some of them even try to undermine our interests. We tried to unify it with other groups, but unfortunately, many of them didn't want to unify with us. We're not our grandparents, the civil rights generation. Our focus is on getting our reparations in the form of cash payments and getting an anti Black hate crime bill. On Friday, June 27, the Supreme Court agreed with the Trump administration addressing Executive Order 1460, signed January 20th of this year by President Trump. The order sought to redefine the citizenship clause of the 14th Amendment to strip citizenship from children born in the United States to parents who are unauthorized or on temporary visa, essentially ending birthright citizenship for those groups. Multiple lower courts blocked the order with nationwide injunctions, preventing any part of it from taking effect. So, in layman terms, what was going on in the lower courts, they put in a fight saying Trump was abusing his authority and they are going to stop the Trump administration. So, the Supreme Court intervened and told the lower courts they can't do that, only within their state, not nationwide. The court granted the partial stay. Lower courts must limit injunctions to the Pacific Plan rather than blocking the policy. Immigrant right groups and states are pursuing class action lawsuits. 22 states have already filed and plan to file more cases. I encourage my listeners to watch a video clip of President Trump speaking about this ruling in regards to the birthright citizenship that is under the 14th Amendment. The video is entitled, quote, Trump says lower court birthright injunctions were a grave threat to democracy, unquote. To watch the full video, just go to my Medium transcript located in the comment section below this audio podcast. Click on the link, then scroll down to show and prove. So I'm just paraphrasing. He said the 14th Amendment was meant for the babies of slaves. It wasn't meant for people trying to scam the system and come into the country on a vacation. The 14th Amendment to the United States Constitution guaranteed birthright citizenship, stating that all persons now check, remember that, okay, that all persons born or naturalized in the United States are the subject to its jurisdiction are citizens. It says anyone born within the geographic boundaries of the United States, with few exceptions, is automatically granted citizenship. So, what he said was it's obvious who it was talking about. The 14th Amendment, the the birthright citizenship was talking about the babies of slaves. This is where people take exception because they're saying, well, it says all persons or people born in the United States are granted citizenship. That came about because of the Dred Scott decision, the Supreme Court decision regarding Dred Scott versus Sanford in 1857. I speak about that too in my revised book. So, if you all would read my story, you have a better understanding about all this. But um, he lived in a non-slave state. His owner took him there. He argued that he should be free, but the Supreme Court said he was, um, he was still a slave, and slaves do not have any rights and are non-citizens. The 14th Amendment overturned that ruling when they said former slaves and their children are now citizens of the United States of America. That's what the 14th Amendment was all about, not about immigrants. Somehow this interpretation came into play that it meant all people, including illegal immigrants who came over here and have babies, then their child is considered a U.S. citizen. So the Trump administration argued that the 14th Amendment was not meant for all groups, only for Black people who were enslaved. He said people will no longer scam the system by coming over here, having babies, and benefiting. It is essential that the ruling could affect over 150,000 babies born in the United States to illegal immigrants. The question I have is how did it get from the original purpose of the 14th Amendment for descendants of American slaves to talking about immigrants? A lot of people are really just now learning about the original purpose of the 14th Amendment as it pertains to Black Americans. Our fight has been hijacked by the Democrats. Trump said it is originally meant for Black Americans. Birthright citizenship is not meant for everybody, but the Democrats have exploited it for decades to undermine us. These immigration policies harm Black Americans' interests. These career politicians try to see us as hmm, try to use these policies, using Black politicians to dilute our political power. We're getting smarter as it pertains to the political game. We're standing our ground and demanding policies. We want economic tangible in terms of a anti-Black hate crime bill that's going to protect Black Americans and our lineage. Base cash payment reparation for descendants of American slaves slash freedmen. These illegal immigrants are coming across the border and they are rewarded all types of resources such as food, health care, money, and shelter during the Biden Harris administration. Our focus is on obtaining policies just like everyone else. For example, the Democrats have Jasmine Crockett doing TikTok dances, challenges, and all that. Her agenda is to prioritize immigrants and LGBT over Black Americans, and they see we're not listening to her, which makes her ineffective. The Democrats is using her as a symbol to appear inclusive so that she could appeal to younger Black voters while empowering non-white immigrants. The Democrats tried to use her as a decoy. You see, right now there is growing discontent about politics among Black Americans. The Democrats are putting Black immigrants in social positions to replace descendants of American slaves slash freedmen. The Democrats are upset that the Black grassroots are disrupting this multicultural voting bloc. They have relied on lumping all these other non-white groups into Black and brown coalitions in order for them to win elections. All of these other groups are benefiting off of the Black vote, and all they want to give us is symbolism, like Juneteenth and having the first Black woman as a judge. So what? We need economic tangibles because everybody else is getting that. And this is what I've been trying to warn the CAM members for the past 33 years. Now, what I'm saying, my we're we move from the era of warning to now the era of consequences. So now you all have to pay for, ignoring me all this time. Now it's going to be even harder for our children. But like I say, I'm just doing the best that I can to get this thing started here in Chicago. I'm turning the business over to my management team and do the best that I can to help my brothers and sisters in South Africa get it popping there and then expand it to other African nations. That's the best that I can do. The Democrats have been practicing benign neglect policies toward Black Americans after the civil rights era. For 3 decades now, I have been trying to wake up Black Americans about how these Black politicians are selling us out and how these immigration policies are used to undermine our interests. This is another reason why I created GERCAM in order to connect with and network with serious like-minded Black Americans and serious like-minded African immigrants who are standing on business. That's all I want to connect with so we can go ahead and, put my ideas into action. But again, I'm just one Black man with a vision and a plan. It takes a team to make a dream work. That's why I need Black Americans to get behind our film project so that the proceeds from the film will allow me to be in a better position financially to do all this stuff that I talk about. At this point in the game, Black America has two choices: to either embrace annihilation or embrace survival. I am only working with CAM members at this time. I don't have another 33 years to waste. Notice Black Americans around the country are showing up in these town hall meetings asking about reparations, and everyone on the reparations board are Black immigrants. They're not from our lineage. They want our vote, but they ain't giving us economic tangibles. The Democrats are prioritizing immigrants and transgender people, making their issues more important than ours. Our tax dollars are paying these elected officials to do their job. The white supremacist financial elites view our reparation as a financial threat and a cultural threat. I'm here to tell the truth and wake up like-minded Black Americans and like-minded African immigrants to work with me in turning my vision and plan into a reality. The CAM members will let the whole world know that America is not some post-racial immigration nation. The white supremacist financial elites is trying to erase us. Boom. The Supreme Court discussed the 14th Amendment and birthright citizenship. Trump wants to change the rules about who gets to be a U.S. citizen. The 14th Amendment says if you're born in the U.S., you're a citizen no matter what. But Trump sign this executive order. It says if your parents aren't legal citizens or green card holders, you don't get citizenship, even if you're born here. Before now, judges they blocked order nationwide, meaning you can't use that executive order anywhere. The Supreme Court said from now on, lower courts can't hold back a law or policy nationwide, meaning they cannot block it in their own state or district, even though some of the judges who still think Trump's order might be illegal or unconstitutional, the policy could be used in parts of the country. Now they can enforce this thing in certain parts of the country, depending on the state. A lot of the Democrats and immigrants, they're nervous right now because birthright citizenship is not officially ended. But his new rule creates a loophole so Trump's order can now be enforced in many areas, especially in the red states. These kids out here born to undocumented parents in those states might not get citizenships. No birth certificates, no social security number. It's going back to the Supreme Court. This is a game changer. And the thing is, when Trump got up there and did his speech, he said, quote, listen, the 14th Amendment was intended for the babies of slaves, unquote. And boy, that really rocked a lot of people's boat, which is true. It was made for descendants of American slaves slash freedmen. Trump is talking lineage. He's saying what we're saying that really has a lot of the Democrats and immigrants on the left upset. Democrats have been doing all this benign and neglect against Black Americans for so long. It was Black people who were supporting their policies and they totally disrespected us. Because again, if Kamala Harris, if she would have won, that election in 2024, those borders would have remained open. And within one generation, the Black community would have been wiped out, especially here in Chicago. That's what I was talking about in my revised book. But like I say, it's barely selling. It's a shame. This is the time now, my listeners, like-minded Black Americans, like-minded African immigrants, read my story first before you even donate to the film project. And if you don't care about what I'm saying, just delete me off your friends list and go on about your business. I'm here to connect with those that want to connect and want to do something rather than just sitting up here complaining about the white man and the government. We're going to try to do what we can, the best that we can at the community level. The whole purpose of the business is so we can have something that we own and control and can pass down to the next generation. This is why we are not tripping about what's happening politically. They always talk around our issues. The 1965 Immigration Act, that was championed by the Democrats. We made sure that remove racial quotas because Black Americans wanted other Blacks to come into as reinforcement. But what happened was they started getting melanated people who were shucking and jiving. The white supremacist financial elites put them in job positions over us, and they did not provide any protection for our labor. After centuries of oppression, they created competition for skilled jobs. These Democrat politicians eventually became gatekeepers from Asia, Africa, the Caribbean, and Latin America. All these other groups got on code to compete against Black Americans. We started getting locked out of social policies, which our ancestors built, but This is what the Democrats were promoting and funding immigration services while cutting Black programs like after school programs such as band, track, and basketball. These resources started to go to immigrant groups while all of these programs started to dry up for us. These other groups were getting prioritized with resources. We noticed immigrants legal defense funds, sanctuary cities, and refugee assistance under and the understand the DNC are the main ones elevating these immigrants into Black representatives to speak on our behalf. This is why we don't get anywhere because we have people that's trying to undermine us. They prefer immigrant immigration rights over reparations. They have played games with our reparations for too long. Remember what happened last year in California? It was Black Democrats that killed the reparation bills. The Black grassroots decided to let the Democrats crash and burn. Trump is acknowledging Black Americans by saying it was for Black people. When Trump said the 14th Amendment was specifically for the babies of slaves, meaning descendants of American slaves slash freedmen, that statement impl- um, well, anyway, that statement cuts off immigrants' access to birthright citizenship. The 14th Amendment was the children of enslaved freedmen, not immigrants. Many of these immigrant groups, they're used to being prioritized over descendants of American slaves in policy for decades under the Democrats. These people have been elevated and been given, or like the buffer class, benefiting and getting benefits and resources at our expenses. We are recognized in the Constitution and protected in a way that other groups have not been. That's where all the resentment is coming from because we cannot be deported. We're lineage based citizens. We are rooted in the US Constitution. These other groups are trying to manipulate Black Americans into fighting their battles. They have to fight their own battles. We did enough. They fear the political consequences of Black Americans organizing separately and not co signing with these other groups. We're not going to continue doing the same thing over and over while getting the same results. We're focusing on solving our own issues. As Trump said, we're the attended beneficiaries of the 14th Amendment. We have a unique constitutional and historical claim. Instead of these other groups accepting the legal truth that descendants of American slaves are the only group whose citizenship is guaranteed as a remedy for slavery. A lot of these immigrants are fearing that they are losing the ability to exploit our civil rights legacy that was built by descendants of American slaves. All these other groups have benefited from our struggle from affirmative action, civil rights, the 14th Amendment, and they get placed in certain positions as gatekeepers against us, the people that is intended for. This has exposed their leeching nature. These policies were specifically for us. The 14th Amendment was started by Black grassroots activists. Only reason the 14th Amendment came into existence is because of descendants of American slaves. It was created to overturn the Dred Scott decision when they said a black man has no rights a white man was bound to respect. Brothers like William Nesbitt, also at the time, the American Colonization Society was trying to encourage free Black people to relocate to Liberia. Black Americans helped create a republic in Liberia, and it lasted for 150 years. To learn more about our history in Liberia, just go to my Medium transcript located in the comments section below this audio podcast. Click on the link, then scroll down to Show and Prove. William Nesbitt traveled to Liberia. He wrote about his experience in a pamphlet called 4 Months in Liberia. He exposed the colonization as a racist scheme to exile Black people out of North America. He returned back to the US and he started fighting for full citizenship with the United States, and he started laying the moral and strategic groundwork for the 14th Amendment. And you had all of these Black equal right leagues that were organizing and they were lobbying Congress for the amendment. He was part of the Pennsylvania State National Equal Rights League, and they were coordinating petitions and lobbying Republican lawmakers. Their messages were real clear. Black people are not immigrants. We're owed full citizenship here in America. I believe Frederick Douglass was also clicked in with him. They used the fact that the Black military served during the Civil War. They organized Black volunteer regiments when the Confederates tried to invade Pennsylvania. They were saving cities and the state. President Abraham Lincoln also said the Union would not have won the Civil War if it were not for the Black freedmen. They gave them moral authority on the issues. They were like, this country wouldn't be a country if it weren't for us. We fought and died helping this union. They just wanted equal rights and citizenship. Our people bled, suffered, and died for the 14th Amendment. We have to balance moral authority and obtain political power. Relying solely on a moral high ground that turns resistance into symbolism. Power respects power. Moral appeals alone does not stop oppression. The oppressor lacks the conscience to be moved by morality. These white supremacist financial elites are committed to dominating us. That's their culture. Many oppressors, they've weaponized Black moral resistance. If we fail to set hard boundaries, others will assume that there's no consequences. Political power is demonstrated through a willingness to defend one's interests. That's where we are now. Finally, Black Americans are starting to look out for our own interests. We ain't doing this whole moral high ground thing. We have to keep focusing on our lineage, our community, and our women and children. Passive resistance is only effective when it's coupled with the threat of consequences. For example, the civil rights movement wasn't just a moral issue, it was backed up by intentional pressure and civil unrest organized throughout the diaspora. Our grandparents knew how to play the game. They knew they needed the church in front of the cameras, but behind the scenes, they had some real writers who were revolutionaries. If we don't assert ourselves with authority, other groups are going to come in and fill that vacuum and then claim leadership over our cause and then whitewash our history. We've been pushing this lineage thing to Gurkham members for 3 decades. Now, all of a sudden, Black Americans are starting to wake up. I'm glad we are starting to wake up. Global respect is tied to strength, not just suffering. You see, other groups gain respect when they show they can can protect themselves from danger. Moral martyring that inspires pity, not partnership. We have to make political political move powers and put forth our own agenda. We have to be monolithic about our reparations, monolithic about supporting this film project, and monolithic about building Ohio, Chicago. If we don't do it, no one will. We also have to be on code about our lineage. If these black politicians won't meet our demands, then there will be a political consequences in the next election. Point blank. Understand, building political power requires the mobilization politically, economically, and socially, which will give us leverage. Without political, economical, and social muscles, then all you have left is morality, which is a begging tool instead of us using a bargaining chip. In Cam, our objective is to teach our members how to tap into their inner man, which is the spiritual realm, which requires balance, benevolence, boundaries, and self control. The spiritual aspects of Gurkam includes having a sense of compassion, righteousness, and the good fight for social justice. True spiritual strength knows when to show grace and when to show mercy. We got to have that kind of energy before we take our rightful place in this world. I'm calling on African immigrants within the United States of America, as well as the global African family, to support my work by reading my story and helping me get my film project fully funded and made so I can walk into my God given assignment. Help me get Gakio Chicago established in America first for credibility before we expand to Africa. Please leave a public comment about the topic in the comment section below this audio podcast and share with your friends on all social media sites you are on. This will help get the ball rolling. Thank you all for listening. We greatly appreciate it. Put me on blast by telling all of your friends and family to listen to our content on our YouTube page. I'm going to send a challenge out to everybody that's listening to this audio podcast. I need you all to support our film work so that we can move beyond cyberspace and get our work or get our story on the big screen to let the Black world know who we are and what we're trying to do for our people that are trapped in American ghettos, specifically in Chicago. Quote, Hood Liberator Made in Chicago, the war against Willie Lynch begins, unquote. You can be a part of this historic docudrama by contributing to our campaign either on our GoFundMe page or on our PayPal Giving Fund page, which will help fund marketing, promotion, clearance, legal, and general expenses. I would like to thank everyone who have contributed or will contribute to support our film project on our GoFundMe page. If you are a U.S. citizen, then I recommend that you use our PayPal Giving Fund page as a tax write off because this is a legitimate 501c3 nonprofit faith based community advocacy organization. You can also purchase items from our virtual store or purchase my revised book. The ebook is $9.99. The softcover book is $15 plus shipping and handling. We appreciate your support. You can find all the links below this audio podcast in the comments section. Thank you for listening to our YouTube live or the replay. Thank you for subscribing, liking, and sharing. I would like to thank all of you for listening to our audio podcast on Spotify. If you are new to Help Stop the Genocide in American Ghettos podcast, welcome to our safe space where we discuss Black issues. We do this every week. We will conclude our audio podcast for today. We will see you on the next episode. Peace and blessings. And that's going to conclude our show for today.